Optimization is a term that has become synonymous with online marketing efforts. Both search engine optimization and social media optimization are recognized strategies for connecting with customers. But what can a business do both with them and beyond them to become fully optimized? Well, these are the very issues that Lee Odden, who is the CEO of TopRank Online Marketing, discusses in his new book released this week, simply called Optimize. And Lee is joining us now by way of Skype to give us a preview of the information he reveals. It's great to have you today, Lee.
It's great to be here, Abby. How are you?
Great, how are you?
Excellent, excellent.
I want to start at the very beginning with how a Google engineer helped you view optimization in really its full significance. Can you explain this experience?
Sure. Well, it was kind of a moment, that described the convergence of ideas that were bouncing around in my big old head about optimization as a holistic thing. So I was having a conversation with Lee Odden, and she had just given a presentation. I'd seen her give several presentations before, and she got better and better and better. And I remarked how good she had become at giving presentations. Her speaking skills were excellent. And I also explained what I thought were my lack of speaking skills, and she said, "Look, you optimize websites for better performance, right?" And I said, "Yeah." And she said, "Why don't you optimize your speaking skills?" And I thought, wow, that's kind of a palm forehead moment. Not just about, surely, if I appreciate speaking skills, why don't I make them better? But also taking a step back from the traditional notion, at least within our SEO world, of what optimization means. And it means to make better, to make perfect, and to continuously improve. And clearly optimization is a concept applied to many other things like business processes and improving other things. And I just thought, well, why not make that the focal point of discussion when we're talking about how to connect customers with brands, using content, using social, using search, right? And how to approach optimization as a state of mind, as a way of viewing the world versus just keywords and links and on the page and that sort of thing.
Very good. Well, in the book, you talk a lot about the changes that have occurred in the marketing space, such as the means by which consumers now have to stay constantly connected. So given these changes and others, how would you define modern marketing and really the role that optimization plays in it?
Well, I think it's an adaptive or proactive opportunity, right? I mean, the centerpiece of all this is, and what's missing in a lot of the pontification that goes on about content marketing in the SEO world now and in other places is understanding customers, understanding and empathizing with the customer journey from awareness to interest to consideration to purchase all across the sales cycle. So modern marketing, I think, has to take a look at the totality of customer experience. And I think if we approach optimization from, let's optimize for customers, experiences, and business outcomes, that's the sort of approach I think that can transcend something like a search engine or a social network, because if you're focused on customer behaviors, what their goals and pain points are, what is it that they care about, and how can we solve those problems with brand information, brand solutions, or products and services, then we're going to be on top of what it means to grow revenue, right? To retain customers, to increase orders, to increase referrals, and that sort of thing. Instead of just focusing on, tactical KPIs like in the SEO world, like rankings or keyword referred traffic, which, is harder and harder to track anyway. We're focusing more on things that actually matter to customers and to businesses.
Well, many people profess to optimize for search engines and or social media outlets, but how do you explain that real optimization is not only a combination of these, but also more?
Well, more meaning, again, it comes back to the customer. So obviously, a traditional tactic would be to identify what are the most popular keyword phrases relevant to our product and services mix. Then let's make sure that our existing content uses those words and that we're creating new content relevant to those words, and maybe that we're getting some links and social shares using those words. To me, that's standard SEO, and that's great. It does work. But I think you'll find more opportunities when we take the effort to understand how is it that customers think about the problems that they're having solved by the brand's products and services, and also to think about the kind of content that will guide that customer through the journey from not even being aware of your solution to looking at you compared to other companies to ultimately making a purchase and continuing throughout the customer lifecycle to providing the kind of content that's socialized and optimized for retention purposes, right? To keep those customers, to give them more information about how they can get more out of the purchase or investment that they've made, as well as implementing SEO and social media optimization to empower customers to be advocates, to make it easy for them to share and to refer others as potential customers to the brand, and including all of that as part of optimization, not just top of funnel.
Right. Well, one of the main points that you make in the book is the fact that optimization is more than just a checklist.
Right. Right. It's more than just a standard or fixed list of things that you do. I think a lot of more savvy SEO practitioners today are adaptive, and they are reactionary and proactive to opportunities. Think of, for example, a news story that's coming out and it's trending and it's getting a lot of social pull. Well, a competitor might look at that and go, damn, look at what they're doing. Maybe we'll make one of those. Another competitor might go, look, let's make something that actually steals some of that thunder, and let's optimize it, because people are going to be searching for more information on this viral video, this viral infographic or whatever. Let's borrow to build off of our own brand. And there'll be, it's called newsjacking, or David Meerman Scott actually has a book called Newsjacking that talks about this sort of thing. And I think being adaptive is very important. So it's not just a checklist. It's having the wherewithal to understand customers, to understand the market, to understand the kinds of content that are meaningful, and also paying attention to the marketplace so you can actually on demand come up with stuff that's a marketing asset right here, right now, not just following, a fixed editorial calendar or a fixed marketing plan.
Right. Well, you offer a 3-phase plan for optimization that helps brand to stay in the front and center of customers. But can you walk us through this just briefly without spoiling the entire book?
Okay. Well, I do talk about a couple of three. The number 3 comes into play in 2 different situations. One is understanding optimization opportunities in terms of content and information. So that is optimizing for or understanding how consumers, your target audience, discovers information, right? What do they search on? What do they talk about on the social web? Also, what are their preferences in terms of content consumption? What media formats do they like? Video, long, short form devices, right? Mobile, tablet, laptop, or whatever. And then the third thing has to do with sharing, right?
Right.
What is it that motivates them to share? Obviously we'd like them to buy, but not everyone is in a position to buy. But the sale you can make every time is a social share or even a referral. And by understanding those 3 things, then as our approach, our strategy can be to optimize our ability to attract customers, right? To pull them to us. They're pulling themselves to us, actually, to engage with them, right? And then to inspire them to take action, whether it's making a purchase, a social share, or even a referral to someone else who is ready to buy.
All right, very good. Well, speaking more generally about your book, who is it geared to, and what would you like their biggest takeaway to be?
The biggest takeaway? Well, sure. The audiences for the book are actually identified specifically in Chapter 2, and it covers not just folks that are in a marketing role, right? Also in public relations or customer service or in HR and recruiting. I mean, really anyone in an organization that is publishing content digitally for a particular audience, that's an optimization opportunity, right? And from a content marketing perspective, we're thinking about, okay, how can we create content that's actually thoughtful about a particular audience with a particular outcome in mind? So there's the whole breadth. So B2B, B2C, retail, technology, and big company, small company, departments within a company. It's really relevant to anyone that's publishing content. And the big takeaway is going to be different for different companies, but ultimately it will empower them with the knowledge that will allow them to get more productivity out of the content that they're publishing, more meaningful versus mechanical experiences for the audiences that actually consume that content, and a framework for how to create a process for implementing this in an organization that will help you scale.
All right, it's great information, Lee. Thank you so much for sharing it with us, and best of luck with the book.
Thanks, Abby. I appreciate it. Folks can get more information on the book at optimizebook.com.
And Optimize is also available in all major bookstores. Reporting for WebPro News, I'm Abby Johnson.